Yes, class, we are doing kinematics in continuation only. In the previous class, we have discussed about speed and velocity. But when I talk about the acceleration, it means I am talking about the non-uniform motion. Now, when I talk about the uniform motion, then it means velocity is constant. But when I talk about the non-uniform motion, it means equal distances or equal displacements are not there in equal intervals of time. Or I may say that the velocity is changing. It means velocity is changing means it's not constant. So if an object is there whose velocity is changing, then I will say that the object is accelerated and the motion is accelerated motion, of course. And this is, we are talking about acceleration in detail today. So acceleration of the particle, if I want to define it, is the time rate of change of its velocity. So velocity is changing with time, and how much it is changing, that will decide about its acceleration. Of course, because velocity is a vector quantity, so change in velocity is also a vector quantity, so acceleration is also a vector quantity. And direction of the acceleration will be always same as the direction of change of the velocity. Acceleration, because velocity can be positive, 0 or negative, same way acceleration can also be positive, 0 or negative. So when I say acceleration of the body is 0, it means the velocity is not changing. Velocity is not changing, it means it is uniform velocity. Uniform velocity means uniform motion. If it is having uniform speed, then also it is uniform motion, then again there is no acceleration. So acceleration, we are calling it as a vector quantity because it is having both magnitude and direction. Units, SI units, if you see, they are meter per second square, or in CGS you may write centimeter per second square. If I talk about the rate of change of velocity, how quickly, how slowly the body is moving, I will be getting the idea with the help of acceleration. So these are few facts about the acceleration which you should be knowing, and the dimensional formula of the acceleration also you can write. This is simply by the knowledge of dimensions, m0 l t minus. So it means if I try to draw an acceleration time graph, then if it is coming a straight line parallel to the time axis, then it means the acceleration is constant. It means velocity is changing by equal amounts in equal intervals of time. Change in velocity is always there, but that is equal in equal intervals of time. So if I take the area under the acceleration time graph, that will give me the change in velocity. So if I again want to write uniform acceleration, I want to write the formula and all other things, then of course, as I have discussed, when I am talking about uniform acceleration, it means acceleration time graph is a straight line parallel to the time axis this way. But if I want to represent it with the help of velocity time graph, then velocity is increasing by equal intervals of time, by equal amounts in equal intervals of time. It means slope is constant, slope is not changing, then it is uniform acceleration. So this is velocity time graph. Similarly, if I want to draw the position time graph, then you see the slope of the position time graph will be changing by equal amounts. Then this graph will come like this, which is saying about the uniform positive acceleration. If I want to write the formula, as I have said, acceleration is change in velocity upon change in time. So I can write it as delta V upon delta t. So this is the change in velocity is equal in equal intervals of time. Then I will say that it is having the constant or uniform acceleration. So in your syllabus, you have to basically talk about the uniform acceleration in more detail. The body, it means this velocity time graph or acceleration is constant, I may say like this. Of course, you can be always given with a situation where they may give you one graph and they may ask you to convert it into the another form. So you should be able to understand the graphs. if I want to study some velocity time graphs, then if the velocity time graph is coming a straight line parallel to time axis, it means it is uniform motion. But if it is coming with a slope like this, positive slope, then it means it is uniformly accelerated motion. Because velocity is changing by equal amounts and in positive direction, then it is uniformly accelerated motion. But if the velocity starts decreasing by equal amounts in equal intervals of time, then the acceleration is uniform but negative acceleration, or in other words, we may say that it is uniformly retarded motion. That is simply another way to write the negative acceleration, but otherwise we may say that acceleration is negative but uniform. So this is uniform accelerated motions, both these graph, but this it means non-uniform motion, and this is uniform motion if I am getting the velocity time graph parallel to time axis. Again, few more velocity time graphs are there to see that if initially it is having some velocity, it means if it is not starting from the origin, if it starts from the origin, then it means initial velocity is 0. This we know, we have already discussed. Always we try to take the independent variable along the x-axis, dependent variable on the y-axis. So time is taken along the x-axis, velocity along the y-axis. But in your exams you may get the graphs otherwise to confuse you people, so you should be able to read the graphs. It means qualitative way, that what it is giving, and then by the relation quantitatively you can get the things if the values are given to you for the time and the velocity. But if it is origin is always taken as the reference point, 0 0 coordinates. So it means if the graph is starting from origin 0 position, it means initial velocity is 0. But if it is starting from here, it means it is having some positive initial velocity and then the velocity is increasing. Again, slope is not changing, so uniformly accelerated motion. Here it is having some initial velocity, of course on the positive side, but velocity is decreasing by equal amounts in equal intervals of time, so negative acceleration is there. Here again negative acceleration because sloping down, but initial velocity is also negative. Here initial velocity is positive but sloping down, and even the velocity is becoming 0 at time t1 and then further, but the slope is not changing, so slope is constant, so it is uniformly accelerated motion, rather negative acceleration. So you may speak that uniformly retarded motion, or you may say uniformly acceleration with uniformly negative acceleration is there. So negative acceleration or retardation meaning is same, but initial velocity is positive. So by convention only we say always that if I am on the right positive, on the left negative, upwards positive, downwards negative. So these signs should be clear to you, and of course this is your uniformly retarded motion with initial velocity as positive. So many graphs can come across you. You should be able to understand the graph and you should be able to depict the situation, whatever they are representing. And these are also some more graphs, but these are now position time graph. This is xt graph, position time graph. So if the position time graph is coming like this, means straight line with a slope this way, it can be joined to the position axis to get the initial position value. That you can do always with your pen or pencil. You can extend the line till it meets the axis to find the initial position when the time is 0. Here position time graph I am talking about. So slope, you can see the slope is constant. So when the slope is constant, so it means velocity is not changing, and velocity is not changing, it means acceleration is 0. If slope changes, if you draw the slope here at this point, if the value of slope is changing, then only it is having the acceleration. If slope is not changing, then acceleration is 0. And if slope is increasing, then positive acceleration this way. And if the slope is decreasing, then it is negative acceleration. So you can draw the slopes and then you can see what is happening to the value of theta. Theta means tan theta. What is happening to the slope? Slope is remaining constant, slope is increasing, or slope is decreasing. And then you can talk about the positive, negative, or zero acceleration with the help of position time graphs also with you. Now, if I talk about the non-uniform acceleration, it means velocity is not increasing by equal amounts in equal intervals of time. It means change in velocity is changing with time. It means this is the acceleration time graph. Acceleration is there and that is changing. Or I may have the graph like this. These are non-uniform accelerations. For uniform acceleration, it was simply parallel to the time axis. For non-uniform acceleration, it will be having a slope. And whenever there is non-uniform acceleration, we can calculate average acceleration by simply dividing the change in velocity to the change in time. And in such cases, we talk about the instantaneous acceleration also, that will be given by the velocity time graph. Instantaneous acceleration means acceleration at any instant of time at a given point. So if at this point I want to find, I will draw the projections on velocity axis, I will draw the projection on time axis, and I will be able to get the acceleration, which is rate of change of velocity, but limit delta t tends to 0. It means it is slope of the tangent to the velocity time graph. So acceleration time graph not to be studied in much detail. You have to focus on the velocity time graph, on the position time graphs, but you should be knowing the acceleration time graph also for uniform accelerated motion. It means non-uniform motion. In non-uniform, and this is when we are talking about instantaneous acceleration, it is coming only in case of variable acceleration. It means acceleration is not constant. It means non-uniform. And then if I want to write it in form of derivative, then acceleration, it is given by rate of change of velocity with time. So I can write it as derivative of velocity with respect to time. But velocity is what? Velocity is derivative of distance or the position or the displacement with time. If I am talking about velocity, it is rate of change of, it means ds by dt. So when I write velocity as ds by dt, then acceleration can be written as d2s by dt square. That is called the double derivative. This is first derivative, this is called as second derivative. It means I am taking 2 times derivative, and on that you can be asked with the question like this is the similar question. Like position is given, s is given to you, the value of s is given t cube plus 15 t square plus 54 t plus 6, and they are saying s is in meters, t is in seconds. You have to find its velocity and acceleration as a function of time, and you have to find the object's acceleration also at t equals to 2 seconds. At t equals to 2 seconds, you have to find the acceleration, that is instantaneous acceleration. So it means for finding acceleration, I have to take 2 times derivative. First time derivative we have already discussed, that if I want to find the velocity, then first time derivative, that is ds by dt, that is given by your formula is x power n d by dx of x power n. That one formula you have to remember, that is n is the power, of course n power will be taken in multiplication, and then x power n minus 1. As I said, when I want to take the derivative, my variable should be dependent on that. When I want to find the derivative of position with respect to time, then position should be known in terms of time only, then only I can find the derivative of position with respect to time. So power is 3 will come in multiplication, t 3 minus 1, it means 2, it means 3t square plus 15 as it is. For t square it will be 2 into t power 2 minus 1 means 1, 2t. So you will be getting here 30t plus 54. Derivative of t with respect to t is 1, so no need to write 1, and derivative of a constant is always 0. So derivative of 6 is 0, so no need to write that. So this much is known to you. Now if I want to find acceleration, that is given by rate of change of velocity with time of this, so dv by dt. So I have to take the derivative of this value now, velocity, that is 3t square plus 30t plus 54. Again 3 will be taken constant as it is. Derivative of t square is 2t plus 30 as it is. Derivative of t is 1. 54 is a constant and derivative of constant is 0. So you need not write. So I am getting it 6t plus 30. This is acceleration, which is dv by dt, which can also be written as d2s by dt square, that is the double derivative. Now for finding the instantaneous acceleration at t equals to 2 seconds, you will put the value for t equals to 2 seconds. In place of t, wherever it is t, only there only you will put the value, not at any other place. So for 6t, I will be writing 6 into 2 plus 30 as it is. So I am getting 42 meter per second square. This is instantaneous acceleration with you as the answer. This is, we have to study the kinematic equations of motion. 3 equations of motion are there. Firstly, we are doing by analytical method. Analytical method means by the definition. Like we know that acceleration is what? Acceleration is change in velocity upon change in time. So I can get it by the slope of velocity time graph of this graphical method. But if I write it by the definition of acceleration, then if I cross multiply, I am getting v minus v naught, it is equals to at, or I can say v equals to v naught plus at. This is the first equation of motion. Of course, v naught is the velocity when time is 0 and v is taken as the final velocity when time is t. And the body is having uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration, then this is the first equation of motion I can get by the definition itself. Now there is second equation of motion. If I want to derive, then I have to take the help of the average velocity. Average velocity is v naught plus v divided by 2. Yes, this is the average velocity with you. And then if you find the distance traveled will be x, which is equals to average velocity multiplied by time. So average velocity is v naught plus v divided by 2 into t. But you have to put the velocity of v here. V, it is equals to v naught plus at. And if you put the value of v naught plus at here for v, then you are getting 2 times v naught plus at, and of course whole thing is to be multiplied by this t. So you are getting v naught t plus half at square. So this is the second equation with you for the second equation of motion, that is you have earlier studied s equals to ut plus half at square. Now in place of u we are using the symbol v naught, that is the initial velocity. X, in place of x even distance I may write x minus x naught, that is if initial position x naught is given, then in place of x I may write x minus x naught also. And a is the uniform acceleration, and then you can write the things with you. This is the second equation of motion. For the third equation of motion, when you are doing, then again by using the same formula for distance or the displacement, that is equals to average velocity into time, that is v naught plus v divided by 2 into t, and you need to put the value of t from the first equation, that is v minus v naught upon a. If you put the value, then you are getting here it is v square minus v naught square divided by 2a, and on solving you are getting v square, it is equals to v naught square plus 2ax. This is the third equation of motion. These are the equations when we are doing by analytical method. It means by the statement only, by their definition only we are doing with the things. Same way you can find the distance traveled in nth second. Nth second means in a particular second, like 10th second. Then distance traveled in 10 seconds minus 9 seconds will give you in particular 10th second how much distance the body has traveled. So for nth second, for 1 second, that second I am calling it as nth second. So for that, this is simply mathematics. Again, analytical method, it means by simple definition, or this second equation we have derived, that is equals to s equals to ut by at square, or you may write x equals to v naught t plus half at square. Now if you put the value of t equals to n and t equals to n minus 1, these two, like I have said 10 and 9. So for 10 on n second you can write the formula that you are getting un plus half an square. For n minus 1, in place of t we are putting the value n minus 1, and then if you solve the things you find snth is sn minus 1. This is snth, this one. So you can subtract these two, and simply by taking the value of Sn and Sn minus 1, and if you work out, we are coming with the answer Snth, it is equals to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. So this is the equation. If I want to find the distance traveled in nth second, that is to be written as Snth. This is simple mathematics. But all these three equations you can derive by the help of graph also. Then I will be calling it as the graphical treatment. So for that we are taking the velocity time graph. So you keep this with you, that v naught is initial velocity, v is the final velocity when t is the time taken, and a is the constant acceleration which is given by the slope of AB. Slope of AB is giving you the constant acceleration. Constant acceleration means non-uniform motion but uniform acceleration we are talking about. So when I have to take the second equation of motion, I have to take the area under the graph. Area under the VT graph gives me the distance or displacement. So that means I will be taking the area of this triangle ABC plus this rectangle with you, that is ACOD. Then you can work the things without that. This rectangle with you is ACDO, that is equals to V naught into T, length into breadth, and for this it is 1 by 2 B into H. B is AC, which is T, and H is V minus V naught. So V minus V naught into T. So when you put the value of V minus V naught, which is equals to 80 from the first equation, we are getting this is S equals to V naught T plus half 80 square. S can be written as x minus x naught also for the numericals or for the various purposes. Whenever required, you should be able to write x equals to x minus x naught also, that is the displacement. Similarly, for third equation, you need to take the area of this trapezium, that is OABCD, this complete, which is equals to 1 by 2 sum of the parallel sides and into the perpendicular distance between them. Perpendicular distance is OD and the parallel sides are OA plus BD. So you can write the value of OA, it is equals to V naught, BD it is equals to V. So V plus V naught into OD is equals to T. So again you take the value of T from the first equation, that is V minus V naught divided by A. So on solving you are getting V square minus V naught square equals to 2AS. Again in place of S you can write in bracket x minus x naught, that is the displacement. Here we are taking velocity time graph, then it will give me the displacement. And this is all we were to study today. So keep things up to. Thank you.